you were the first to have that striated glute, everything. And I know that these kids are saying, no, you were a pup.
Like, taking care of your skin, going to the chiropractor, doing stretching, a lot of things that you can do to take care of your body.
So what did it that you started so young? How did that help you in the competitions in the coming years? Do the Mona shot. All right. Hello from California. We have a most incredible guest. We're going to listen to, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to listen. This is one of those times where sit back and watch the knowledge he gives on just the little details. And that's what when I talk to him, there's so many facets that he does that just impress me, and also showed me why he separated himself from the other, what is it, 7 million, 8 billion people in the world. So Rich is incredible, great guy, Mr. Intensity. But he did some stuff and what I want to talk to him about today especially is he did some stuff that was incredible as a youngster. And that was skincare. And that's what we're going to talk about today. There we go. Holy moly. You good, kid?
Good. Doing good.
I love it. So I wanted to bring you on here because it was something you and I talked about previously. And it was something that I think so many people bypass. And so if you don't mind, in your own words, what was something that you did as a youngster competing? And again, you were young. Like most of us back then, I guess. But you were into it and you started something so young. What was the one thing that you were doing that we talked about before that I kind of mentioned to you?
Well, we talked about, how important it was to take care of your skin. Being a bodybuilder, I wanted to leave no stones unturned, so to speak. And a lot of times, bodybuilders look at the training aspect, the nutrition aspect, but then there's also the presentation, your appearance, how you look. So I felt, you're there in these little skivvies. You're basically, showing your skin. Skin is really, really important. And at a young age, I saw that by taking care of my skin, by the time I was 15, I started putting on, creams, oils. I started, studying stuff about, like, if you use mineral oils, it just stays on top. If you use more natural oils, it soaks in to keep your skin more moist. And moisture is really important because, the reason why I was doing it was I wanted to get that grainy, skinless look. So when I dyed it down, I wanted to be able to show that. And by adding or by using, a natural oil, and I used olive oil. I'm Italian, so I'm using natural, but safflower oil and olive oil. I didn't use mineral oil. I knew that using a more natural oil would soak into your skin. It would keep the skin more, moist. And
See, I want these people to understand this. This is something you were doing at 15 years old.
yeah,
And I try to talk to them and tell them, hey, when I was modeling, 14 and 15, that's when I always started watching my mom take care of her skin. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And she explained it. And so I started. And I thought that was interesting because you're one of the few people I've ever talked to that says it's such an important element that most people miss. So what did it that you started so young? How did that help you in the competitions in the coming years?
well, I was known for being, what I did is I set a new standard in being the most ripped bodybuilder. I was the first bodybuilder with striated glutes. I mean,
Yep.
I was adding, lotion, cream to my ass, so to speak, because if I could get it tighter and make it look like I had just no skin, the whole thing is trying to be on stage with no skin, I was gonna have a better chance of winning the show. Like I said, when I competed, I left no stone unturned, and presentation was a big part of it. You talked about how your mother, used oils. My mom would always use, creams on her face, and I would see that. And I said, why are you doing that? Because it makes my skin more more smooth.
Did she
So
use oil of Olay? What'd she use?
oil of
Yeah.
Olay back in the day. That was it. Back
She'd
in the
come to
day.
bed. She'd come in there and say goodnight to me, and she's white faced. And I'm like, what's
Yeah, white face.
oil of Olay? They take it on.
That's
But you
what
were
she
right.
used.
You were the first to have that striated glute, the everything. And I know that these kids are saying, no, you were a pup.
Yeah.
You were a pup with these striated glutes.
And here's another thing. When you look at bodybuilders, young bodybuilders today, and you look at them, they say, they're still not reached their maturity. They don't have that density. I was in my early 20s. I mean, you just
Yep.
posted a video of me. I was 23 years old in that video, and you can see the density and the hardness at someone 23, where there's bodybuilders that have the mass, but they don't have that density. And that was a lot about taking care of your skin. And like I said, if you want to be prepared, you want to be able to do everything you can in your power to make yourself win. That was, even if it was a 3% aspect of it, but I believe it was more, because doing that set me at another level. I remember competing.
If it was 1%, would you do it? If it was just 1%?
Yeah, just 1%, because when you're at that pro level, it's such a highly competitive level that even 1% would make you do something that you would do to try to win. And I remember competing in the pro,
100%.
and I competed in the pro world, and that's when I first showed like my physique to be like dense, hard, ripped. And I remember Chris Dickerson was the commentator, and he goes, no one's ever seen a bodybuilder to look like this, in the past. So he we're watching history of someone setting a new standard in, density and ripness.
In
And I
something,
think,
in something that's been around for a long time at that point.
yes.
And you came in and just set a whole new standard, and you did it. You first started it at 15. Later on, like a video I post, go to my stories right now, guys, and just watch the video that I put up of him. I had to put it up for just because it's just I could smell how that stage and everything just could smell, just like that, the baby oil and the stage and that old school grind, and you're out there and you're hitting it. And so I had to put that video up. And you're 23 years old there, setting a standard that nobody in history has ever seen. Jump forward. Did that translate and help you out through the career? Not even bodybuilding, just in life.
I think so. I mean, I've constantly taken care of my skin. We all want to try to stay young. I always tell you, you're ageless. I've actually come up with a brand called Ageless now. And I want to do everything to try to, to look or appear to be young. Keep your hair, make your skin look, good. And what are those? What are the ways to do that? And I think skin, as we discussed, if you do it in an early age, it's really too late. If you're in your 50s trying to take care of your skin, it's already too late. But if you could do it beforehand, it's preventative. Preventative is the key. And that's what these youngsters don't realize, is like they can say, well, I'm not old yet, I don't have to worry about that.
Stay there then. Stay on this for a second, because you answered my question about what you did as a youngster, how it helped you in a career, setting a standard that nobody's ever seen. So everybody that's listening to this, watching this and everything, he's the only guy that set that standard at that point. There's others that followed, but he set it. Now, he didn't know where he was going to go to, but he went to a place where nobody's ever gone to, and that's huge. That being said, he continued to do it even though the bodybuilding or the stage stopped, because he wants to do life. Now you just said something that I don't fathom. Now, I put up a video of Barry DeMay when he was 19 and won the European, and then you got Lee Haney, your dear friend and roommate at one time. You got all these guys back in our era that were 18, 19, 20 and looked like pros today. And then you just said, why don't the kids today think about this? And they go, no, I'm going to wait until I'm 50. Too late.
Yeah.
What can you say to these kids? Because I can't seem to get through to a lot of them. Everybody waits to see the chiropractor after the fact. They see the doctor after the fact. They do the lotion after they got saggy skin. What can you say? Is there anything you can say?
I mean, just know that time goes by quickly. When you're young, you think it goes by slowly. And if you can think about preventative measures like, taking care of your skin, going to the chiropractor, you know, doing stretching, a lot of things that you can do to take care of your body, you will not see the injuries. I might, you and I have been training for over 30 years, and,
I think
we,
it's 40 years for us,
yeah,
right?
35, 40 years, and we're still grinding. And I just think about it, I've been training since I was 13, and I'm in my late 50s, still hitting the gym, and I'm not in a wheelchair. I can still walk, I can still bend over. I mean, as I age, there's the aging effect that hits anybody, but I think I'm doing really well for a guy that's going to be hitting 60 in 2 years, so it's not bad.
No, I think it's awesome. And I think that the knowledge you give has set us up so we could be here. Because I always get somebody that says, Robbie looks good for his age. Shut up. Robbie looks good for 20.
Yeah.
Or I get the guy that goes, hey, you're 50s. I got time to catch you. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like, sure, okay, yeah. You can wait until you're 49 and then train for a year and you're going to pass me and Rich up.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, it was what he did as a teenager and his mindset on what he wanted to do to move where he is today and be such a success and a legend in the industry of health and fitness and business, and moved it up. And he took that aspect of training and moved it into business and just dominates. And he has a little one, like I have a little one.
Yeah.
How is fatherhood in this sense now with the new one?
I just stepped out of the room because you heard him screaming, but it's keeping me young because, having a 2-year-old. I mean, your son's what, 4 or 5? 2. Oh, he's 2.
Just over 2.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was a little older than my son, but yeah, 2 years old, and it's fun. It's fun. It's keeping me young. And that's another reason, I want to, I think about longevity.
I'm glad you're saying this. Say it, because I know where you're going.
I'm older, and there's guys that I know that are my age that are like, they're sitting there and like, I'm too old. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's bullshit. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I still eat my 6 meals a day. I take care of, like you said, being hydrated, drinking well. I do blood work, checking myself to make sure my blood levels are right, my triglycerides, cholesterol. I check things as, my older age, checking my prostate, all these things that,
which I just did.
Yeah. So I do.
I go a little too much for the prostate, but the doctor's really good looking. So I don't know what's up with that.
We all have to go through that. But you know what? But my dad died of prostate cancer. So for me, it's really important to take care of that. And it's something that as guys we're embarrassed because you got to go to the doctor and do like something that's very uncomfortable for most people. So it's something that you need to do like every 6 months because I have cancer history. I make sure I check myself, do a colonoscopy. I do all these things because I want to have not only to live long, but have a higher quality of life. And what does that take? You want to look good. Of course, everyone wants to look good, but you want to feel good. You want to have, you don't want to be aches and pains. And, I see the weights you're still lifting and, it's amazing what you've still been able to do. I mean, that's what's, listen, I told you, I think it's amazing on how you can do the lifts that you're doing at your age, for any age. Not I want to say your age, any age. And I love doing that as well. And I do my best. And as long as I'm not hurt, I keep doing it. That's how I'm training.
Can I ask you a question? Because I sat down with some bright individuals and we were talking about longevity. And I think you're the same as me. It's not about living 100 years. It's about living incredible years that you are here. Because tomorrow's not promised to anybody.
Yeah.
It just, I lost, I don't know how many friends this year. Young friends.
Yeah.
And we can take care of the skin. We can take care of the health. We can do the colonoscopies, which I do every 3 years because the same thing with family. So we do everything preventative. I'm not saying you're going to live to 150 years old, but I'm going to say the quality of life is quality. You're out playing with the 2-year-old now. I'm out tussling. You know what I mean? And it's like one big thing I think that you agree with is you want to be here when they're 17.
Yep.
In high school. school and playing and being able to move and groove. So I thank you so much for doing this today, brother.
No, it's always
You still there?
fun to. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I got you, man. I got you.
Okay.
You look great, by the way. I just want to say you look really good, man.
Thank you. Thank you.